Are you ready to find out how AI is changing virtual assistant jobs this 2025? In this video, I'm going to dive through a few things that you will need to keep in mind if you're a virtual assistant, whether you're an aspiring one or you've been doing it for a while, and how to be able to apply AI effectively in your day-to-day, as it does change a lot of things. Now, it just came from a conference called Vietnam Nodefest, where I was a speaker talking about how AI and virtual assistants can work together. And I covered this a little bit also in my book, Scale You. So I have seen in the last 2.5 years, basically, since AI has come out, how it has changed a lot of the work that our own assistants in 2XU are doing, and how it's going to keep kind of continuing to change a lot of things, not just for virtual assistants, but for everyone else. But of course, this video is going to be specifically about you. First thing is, AI isn't replacing virtual assistants, it's upgrading them. So I have said this in multiple webinars and multiple podcast interviews and multiple workshops that I've done, where AI is not going to replace you unless you let it. And we're now at a phase where AI is shifting a lot of different ways of how to do things that you would usually or normally do, and how it's going to be affecting a lot of people. But for virtual assistants, you're using AI, or you can use AI as a tool, as a way to upgrade yourself, as a way to upgrade your own skills and how you're doing things. As a really perfect example, for a lot of our virtual assistants at 2XU, a lot of them are not native English speakers, because English is kind of our third, fourth language in the Philippines. But because of AI, because of ChatGPT, we're able to write really clear, grammar correct, spelling correct captions, posts, emails for our clients, where people can't even tell that it was written by someone who has English as a third or fourth language. The same thing for me. I had to develop a lot of my own skills, but with AI, I kind of use it to make sure that I'm not making any spelling or grammar mistakes. And it basically upgraded a lot of people's English skills, even if just on the written level, and makes their lives a little bit easier. So that's the simplest example I can give, but there's so many out there as well. I've seen a lot of virtual assistants use AI as kind of their buddy, as kind of their brainstorming friend, as their kind of constant going through like, hey, I'm stuck in here, how would you do it? It's become a way for them to get better and better at what it is that they do, rather than being something that they fear. So use it to upgrade yourself, your current self, but not to replace yourself, because nothing can really replace you. Next way that is changing a lot of things is client expect virtual assistants or executive assistants to be AI literate. What that means is a lot of the entrepreneurs who are starting their business or growing their business, they're looking for someone to help them adapt into AI. What that means is, for you as a virtual assistant, it's going to be your great advantage to say, hey, I'm an AI-enabled virtual assistant. It's the same thing of what we do in 2XU. If you look up 2XU, it says AI-enabled executive assistants, because it is one of our advantages, because we train a lot of our EAs on how to use ChatGPT and AI in the right way. So that is going to be one major change that's going to happen, is when people write their job descriptions or job hiring posts, is they're going to put AI literate. What that means is you know how to use AI to the best of your abilities, and how to be able to use it for your day-to-day at work. Next is, for repetitive tasks, AI is handling it. What that means is anything that you're doing daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, something that you would do because there's a system for it, basically to keep things running, you can start automating a lot of that with AI. An example I've used a lot is the way that my assistant has automated how we onboard our clients. So instead of writing an email every single time, changing the template, making sure it's relevant to them and the conversation, there's an automation that looks at the previous conversations that we've had with this client, so we can easily relate it. So if the clients are like, oh, I'm looking for this kind of executive assistant for my business, the automation basically looks at that, and when it writes the email for that client for onboarding them, it makes sure to repeat back what were already things that we agreed on, or already things that we discussed. That way it's custom for that client as they're getting onboarded. So it still sounds like I'm the one writing it, or our client success managers are writing it, but it's really AI looking back at old transcripts and then going ahead and making sure that it is relevant every single time that they send an email to that client. So it gives the AI context of what this client is for, and making sure that the client has the right information as they start working with us. So for a lot of the things, you can look at all the things you're currently doing, whether it's your recurring tasks or your routine tasks, things that you have to do every single time it's triggered by something, and start looking at ways that you can automate and make that easier for yourself. Plus, it's one quick way to make sure that there's repetitive results because AI is basically doing them. Next is, as a virtual assistant, strategic thinking is going to be your new edge. And this is something that AI can't fully yet be a master of, is strategic thinking, is because it could only really have the decision making or the planning based on context. And for you, you're a human being. You have context not just based on what you've studied and what you've learned, but the context of what you have made mistakes on, the things that you have succeeded in, the things that you have done really well or not really done really well in the past, and you know what works. You've seen it in real life. And this is an area that AI can't really fully replace you on because, again, it's based on your life, your experiences. So for you, I would really recommend that you harness your skills as a strategic thinker of being able to think ahead, plan ahead, anticipate things ahead, because only you can do that at this point really right now. And it's going to be your main advantage as someone who uses AI as a virtual assistant who uses AI as well for their clients. Next is there's going to be this huge shift between data organization and data entry. What I mean by that is you're going to be doing less of the data entry and you're going to be organizing data for your client. And typically it takes you sometimes hours or sometimes even days to do research for something. It can be done super fast with ChatGPT's deep search and with references, with the data to back it up. So for you as a virtual assistant, you're shifting your thoughts as well as someone who's gathering all that data or even entering that data to then just organizing the data to make sure that it is correct. So that's one of the major shifts that I haven't seen a lot of people yet look at and realize as AI is coming more and more into the space. It's not a trend, it is here to stay. Next is you need to make sure that you're learning tools like ChatGPT, like Notion AI, there's Copy AI, there's Perplexity, there's Claude, there's so many tools out there. But I do want to warn you, if you are going to start diving into different types of tools, make sure that you know how to do prompt engineering, that you know how to use AI. And this is a question that I do get a lot, especially as an AI consultant, where like, what are the best tools? What tools should I be using right now? The first thing is just learn the skill. That's why I've kind of stuck to using ChatGPT in my day-to-day, is because I don't want to keep switching between tools as well, because ChatGPT has the most context about me. And also the other side of it is ChatGPT is one of the easier kind of playgrounds that you can play with of learning how to prompt, how to use AI in general as well. So play around with tools, sign up for them. There's a lot of them that are, all of them are free. And then of course you can upgrade later on. But most of the free ones are basically where AI was about 6 months ago. So it's not terribly late. It's not terribly bad AI just because you're using the free. You can still utilize and use it in your day-to-day. Next is all of this basically builds down that you are the VA who knows how to automate. You can start learning basically how to do prompting, how to ChatGPT, but the next level of that is using tools like Make.com or even just Zapier and learning how to connect different AI tools together. So as an example that I gave earlier, where our Make.com automation looks at a past conversation of a client based on their profile, based on what we told AI to basically set up, and be able to grab the information, use ChatGPT to write that email and then send it out to them. That is what an automation could look like. And that's the simplest example that I can give you. There's a lot of other ways you can start automating. I am honestly not the expert at it. I know how to strategize and how to give people instructions on how to automate it, but you can find other mentors, amazing mentors here on YouTube, everywhere else as well, on how you can start it on automations. But that is again one of the bigger advantages that you can do right now. Next, and this is one of the things I always love giving our clients basically kind of a lesson on, is that you still need the virtual assistant with the soft skills, a person who's aligned on your values and what you do with AI, because that is the unstoppable combo. If you have someone like yourself who knows leadership, who knows project management, who knows how to be kind, how to make sure that AI does what it needs to be doing, you have the skill basically of watching watching out for details, of teamwork as well, and you're combining AI to yourself, you're going to be someone who is going to be more productive, hopefully, if you've learned how to use AI well, as well as someone who is always looking and learning new things, because of course you can do that with AI. You can use AI to like, hey, give me 5 to 10 points of how to learn this skill, test me on this skill, how did I do on this skill. You can basically also use AI again as your sidekick, as a lot of our virtual assistants at 2XU use, and be able to have kind of a sparring partner as you are growing yourself, as learning a lot of things as a virtual assistant. The main thing, to be honest, is you need to stay curious or you're gonna get left behind. Again, AI is not gonna replace you unless you let it. You're not really also gonna be replaced by AI. You're gonna be replaced by people who has learned to use AI because you haven't. So this is not to put a little fear mongering. This is not to scare you. This is just really the reality of how the world is currently evolving and how you will get left behind if you are not actively using AI. If you're not even just learning how to use AI, you are gonna get left behind. AI doesn't have to be this big scary thing. It is a tool. Use it, learn it, master it, and it's going to be one of your biggest advantages as a virtual assistant. It's going to be how you're going to change this space this 2025. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions you have about using AI as a virtual assistant. I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to build business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and with that, small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.